It's going to be a good day here on 100 Huntley Street. Welcome to the second episode of our Royal Anthems Music Week. And today we're going to talk to a worship leader from Quebec about how he was miraculously rescued as an infant and placed in a loving Christian family. And we hear more original music brought to you by Crossroads, and it all starts right now.
Welcome to 100 Huntley Street, friends. We are so glad you're joining us today. Well, Joe, what a beautiful day it is. And
a beautiful day to be in studio because we have a lot to talk about. God is doing a lot in our country.
Yes, he certainly is. You know, a few months ago here at Crossroads Unity Commons, we hosted a landmark songwriters retreat called Royal Anthems. It was right here in Burlington. And Joe, we were so excited because we were seeing signs all over the building, you know, go this way, go that way, Royal Anthems. And Crossroads brought together 22 worship leaders from across Canada, uniting provinces east to west from all different church backgrounds.
That's awesome.
So these 22 worship leaders were invited. All 22 said yes.
That's a miracle in and of itself, because to get 22 people who have full-time jobs and ministries to set aside that window of time to come and be together to pray and to worship, that's amazing.
And I know the event took place over 3 days. So the first day, everyone got to know each other. The second day, they were writing, worshiping God. And the third day, recording these songs. And, you know, through these incredible songs, they've released 4 of them. But they wrote 16. And these songs really capture...
In how many days?
3.
3 days. I know. That's amazing.
And the songs are beautiful. They really speak to God's heart for Canada. You can feel the presence of God when you listen to these songs. Today, you're going to hear one of them, Good Day. I love this song. This song gets me going.
Okay, I haven't heard it yet, so I'm looking forward to hearing it myself. And, you know, we're talking about Royal Anthems, and you're dressed like in royal blue over here.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
I didn't get the memo.
You did. I forgot to send him the memo.
Well, we may not be in unity right now in our dress clothes,
but we are in our hearts.
What came out of this meeting was the heart of God for the country to unite us, you know, put aside denominations, ages, gender gaps, all that kind of stuff, and worship him in spirit and in truth.
That's right.
And I mean, you know, in John chapter 17, verse 23, it says that I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity, so that the world will know that you have sent me, and that I have even loved them and even love you as you have loved me. So unity really is the heart behind this initiative.
It is. Royal Anthems has been such an amazing initiative to see unfold. We can't wait to share more with you all this week. And we're just thrilled. We're thrilled at what God is doing through it. And we're thrilled to be watching God and cheering him on as he moves through Royal Anthems across Canada, uniting the Canadian church for such a time as this. You know, speaking of united Christians across the world, right now in Seoul, Korea, the Lausanne Conference is taking place. And actually one of our Bible teachers and sometimes guest co-host, Daniel Lim, has been selected as part of the Canadian delegate.
That's
some of our
amazing.
Canadian Christian leaders. They think there's going to be 10,000 people there. And so 5,000 virtually, 5,000 in person. Daniel's going to be speaking about the impact of secularism on the nation of Canada. And this whole Congress focuses on questions like, what are the prominent challenges the church is facing? Fulfilling the Great Commission.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the first council in Jerusalem as the church was emerging, and they gathered together and said, hey, what are our challenges and how do we do a better job at reaching the world? And so I think it's fantastic that this is happening, and I hope that people will pay attention to what comes out of this and how we can better reflect who Jesus is to impact more people.
Well, that's right. And we want to encourage you to continue to pray for the 140 Canadian delegates at Lausanne this week, as well as all of the global church leaders who are going to be attending, because we want to see a mighty move of God across the world. And we can't wait to hear from Daniel what he experienced there. We're going to have an interview with him after.
Well, looking forward to that. But let's talk about what God is doing here. He's working in Canada. And so here's a special sneak peek about all that God is doing at Crossroads through Royal Anthems.
So what's really cool about the Royal Anthems project is that because worship is such an important piece of the life of the church, it's really saying, let's start with this important voice. And if we can write songs and do creative work that the churches will be unified in singing and experiencing together, that I think will start just intrinsically unifying the church. And then, you know, who knows what's possible?
coming to us from Église Sans Frontières in Saint-Hubert, Quebec, to share his miraculous story of rescue and redemption is Canadian worship leader and songwriter Rex Versoza. Welcome to 100 Huntley Street, Rex.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you joining us today. And Rex, you serve in a community in Quebec, just outside of Montreal. Tell us a little bit about the community and what you see God doing there.
Well, this experience is very new in my season. I've only been there for 2 years, but the things that God has done is, I find, really miraculous. For some reason, a lot of worship leaders have gathered in the same place, and we have the same stories. We've been really seeking for some unity in worship, the desire to kind of open up avenues to connect. And for some reason, God brought us all there. I thought my story was so unique until I spoke to the people that I got to meet. So it's a very special place. And it's still things are still happening. So it's very hard to say what exactly God wants to do, but we're all excited.
It's so cool. And, you know, it's about a sensitivity to the Holy Spirit. You're right, Rex. We see what God is doing and we just journey with him and we're obedient. Rex, you know, you talk about miracles, and today you are a worship leader, a husband with 2 beautiful kids, serving God with your life in this great church. But your journey wasn't always so certain, and your life has actually been full of miracles personally. Take us back to July 13th, 1976.
Ooh, July 13th, 1976. Well, everything I know about July 13th, 1976 are stories that my sisters have told me and my parents have told me, because in the morning of July 13, 1976, I was found in front of a home in south of the Philippines. It was actually a mango box. So it's a long story, but the quick version of it would be, I think they heard the baby crying at around 5 in the morning, and they weren't sure whether it was the neighbor's baby or someone's baby. But from 5 to 6, they heard the baby crying. And then the neighbor actually woke up first and then told the home that I was left in. They said, "There's a baby in front of your house." So that's how my life started. At least the part that I know about my life.
Wow, Rex. And the family that was notified that you were on their porch in a mango box was the Versoza family. And
yes,
they ended up adopting you. Tell us a bit about your upbringing with them and what this wonderful family was like to belong to.
There's always 2 sides to an adoption story. You know, one side of it is the joy of having a home. And then the other side of it is the dealing with the idea that you're adopted. But this family really loved me. They kept me. They had 5 daughters and 2 sons. So I was the 8th, you know. And one significant story that I remember that my dad told me actually was he told me that there were neighbors that didn't have kids that came to him and actually asked him, it says, "Can we have the baby that was found in front of your house, because you already have 7 kids?" And my dad told me that he said, "Well, we feel like God left him with us, so I think we would want to keep him." So, I mean, there's so many stories after stories in my childhood. And yeah, God has blessed me actually. And they left me in a Christian home, which was the greatest gift, I think, growing up.
Indeed. And your adoptive father sounds like such a special man of God. You know, the experience of being adopted by such an incredible family and taken in and raised with Christian values, so significant. But of course, as you said, there are 2 sides to every adoption story, and there's also the reality that sometimes we can feel abandoned by our birth parents or very impacted and emotionally and spiritually as a result. Did you struggle with some issues connected to that?
No, for sure. Definitely. I think, you know, there is a perspective that people would always remind me. They say that being adopted means that someone wants you. But I couldn't shake off the fact that for someone to want me, somebody else had to reject me. And that was my struggle. I couldn't understand why my birth parents would reject me. And I still don't know how God does things, but he does things so miraculously. I had a time, a very significant time with God, where I felt like he was asking me to share with him the things that were really in my heart. And it was very hard to even bring up what was in my heart, but I started to talk to God, and I said, I don't think it's fair that my life started like this. I don't think it's fair that someone would reject me without giving me a chance. And then I said something very significant. I said, how can the first hands who held me decide to let me go? I just don't understand this idea. And I don't know how God speaks, but he did speak to my heart. And he said, but Rex, they were not the first hands that held you. I was the first hands that held you. And when they let you go, they did my will for your life, because that path led you to me. And he just, that image just healed my heart. And to understand that, some traumatic experience, they're not the pause of life, they're not where we should camp, but God really does have a plan. And to see myself in this place now, it had to start somewhere. It ended up here, and I wouldn't change it for anything, because I have the best things in life now. And I trust that he has he has more in store.
Wow, Rex, your story is so emotional and so truthful and honest. When we come to God with the things that are hurting us and we're honest with him, he gives us a perspective that we might not be able to imagine. And indeed, your life maybe is something that wouldn't have happened the way it has because of the things happening the way they did. And today, Rex, you are a worship leader. And when you were 17, you made a decision to really follow Jesus with your life and to be a worship leader in the church. Tell us about that season.
I think growing up at church, there are a lot of things that, I just ended up doing because it was just part of my routine. When I was a kid, the stories did mean a lot to me, because I found refuge in knowing that he loves me, and that, God is the father to the fatherless. Those things were really meaningful to me. But it wasn't until I was 17 that I really wanted to follow him. I'm like, if you've given me this life, this story, the gifts that you've given me, I want to find out what those were for. And that was the season where he began to really change my heart. And I remember significantly that, my attitude started to change. My perspective started to change. Insecurity started to change, slowly but surely. And then I started to write songs. I think that was one of the ways I expressed the things that were in my heart. He began to give me language through songs. And so that's where my songwriting started.
So beautiful, Rex. And speaking of songwriting and the songs you've taken part in writing, just a few months ago here at Crossroads Unity Commons, we had a project called Royal Anthems begin. And this project meant 22 worship leaders from across Canada were going to come together and spend time in God's presence, time writing incredible worship music that serves God's heart for Canada. Rex, what did you love about this experience? What surprised you? How did God move in the midst of those 3 days here at Crossroads?
That was such a unique experience, because Matthew connected with me, and at that time, I don't think they've ever really done anything like this. So we had no reference. I had no reference. I just knew that when Matthew started to share his heart about what the vision was, my heart just started to get excited. And I'm like, I've been praying for this. This is what I long for, to connect with people who have the same desire to unite the body of Christ through song. So with that and nothing else, we showed up, in Burlington, Ontario, and literally met strangers that became, I don't know how to describe it, because I couldn't say that I know them, but those 2 days were so, I think it was really God who invited us all there and connected our hearts. And I love these people. They're like some kind of family that I still need to get to know. It's one of those things where it's like, I love you already, but I think I have to get to know you now. But that was the most significant thing. And I think out of that, songs began to get written to a point where, I don't know. It's very hard to be interviewed about something that I couldn't put in words because it was just so unique and so special. So I think I'll find more words, in the next coming days or months. But it was really God that brought us there. It was special.
Well, Rex, it certainly is okay to be speechless when you're trying to describe God at work in a powerful way and witnessing him move. I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes I'm speechless like that too. Rex, when you were in the room and you guys were writing these songs, did you really feel the tangible presence of God?
So we met on a Wednesday, right? So Wednesday was just introducing each other. Hi, my name is Rex. I'm from Montreal. And then Thursday was the first kind of official day. And they just started the day in worship. And I just remember standing in a circle with, people who were strangers back then. And then they just said, let's start the day just fixing our eyes on Jesus. We come from so many different places, so many different perspectives, but we want to start today just realizing that we're here for one person, one purpose, and that's to gaze on his face and then begin to write songs from there. And that I think that really shaped every moment after that. We just began to God just began to move in a way that was so overwhelming, and it just came out in songs. It came out with love and friendship. It was just something that was it felt like a father inviting you home and then introducing you to a bigger version of your family. I don't know how to, but it was beautiful.
Yeah. It sounds like a beautiful heavenly experience, maybe a glimpse of what we experience in heaven. Out of the 4 songs that have already been released for Royal Anthems, is there one that speaks to your heart in particular?
One that speaks to my heart. They all speak to my heart. But the thing that really captivated, I think, most of us during that weekend was the song Thank You. It was because I think that was kind of simplifying the things that we couldn't express. Thank you is so simple, but it really covers a lot of ground. Thank you for bringing us here. Thank you for your faithfulness in the past years. Thank you for where you're leading us. Thank you, I think, just encapsulated how a lot of us felt being in that place. And it was just a focusing moment. And it pretty much expressed, the details of where everyone was coming from. And that song is very, very special.
Well, Rex, it is such a beautiful song, and so many of our team members have been brought to tears listening to it. Rex, one final question, and an important question. What do you think God is doing across Canada through the Royal Anthems project?
Oh. Well, I've always believed that God is a father who longs for his children to come in the same place, and not necessarily a physical place, but a place where we can be in one accord, where we could, focus on the things that unite us, the beauty of who he is, and to really bridge the gap, to love each other in whatever way and form it shows up. And I really believe that Royal Anthems is an instrument in God's hands to unite people through music, unite people through songs, and kind of invite them into to look at him first. Because I think seeing him clearly is really what informs how we see each other. And I think that's really the invitation, is to unite everybody to gaze upon him through the songs that are written. And I'm excited. I mean, I'm part of the journey. You know, I'm nowhere farther than everybody else. So I'm just discovering as God unfolds. So, you know, yeah, this is exciting.
It's very exciting, and I think we are all so honored and thrilled to see what God is doing through Royal Anthems and to hear your heart today, Rex, your personal journey, as well as your experience as a worshiper of our great God. Thank you so much for being with us today, Rex.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Tune in to 100 Huntley Street all week long as we spotlight the worship music project, Royal Anthems. 22 Canadian worship leaders unite to create powerful songs for churches all across the nation. Don't miss this inspiring week.
Well, in just a moment, we're going to share a recent song released by Royal Anthems,
Great
written here at Crossroads over just 3 days, actually. And so it's one of my favorite songs, Good, Good Day. I love this one. They've written many, but that's
I haven't heard that one yet. I'm looking forward to later in the week. We're going to be hearing a song called Be Enthroned. And it just, wow, it's a little taste of heaven. You're not gonna
Yes. So this is Good, Good Day is more of a, it's got more praise to it. It gets you going, but Be Enthroned, you're right. It's like being ushered into God's presence. Well, we're going to start with Good, Good Day for me. This next song brings together Eastern and Western Canada and was written by Terrence Richmond from Love Quest International Church in Surrey, BC, as well as John Daniel Labrie from Église Sans Frontières, Montreal, Quebec, and Luke Stones of Coastline Church in Victoria, BC.
Right. Well, without any further ado, here is Royal Anthem's new song, Good, Good Day, and we know it's going to get your day to a good start.
I found my home, it's a resting place.
It's kind of nice, it's kind of nice.
The sun shines down on my window pane. Oh yeah. I taste and see that my God is good. Always good. I lost my way, now I'm back in line.
See, looking kind of nice too.
I showed up late, but he's right on time. On time. I'm found in him now, my past behind. He's turned it around.
Let's go ahead and sing.
Praise the Lord and bless his name. I know it's a good day to be a son and daughter. Very good day to have a sing on, I won't retreat. The banner has been raised, we're standing in your victory, lifting up the name of Jesus, sending demons trembling. I'm standing in the power of the resurrected Savior, not by my own might, but only by His Spirit within me. Your kingdom's here and now, I see revival flood the streets. Arise and shine, this is our time, all sons and daughters of the King. Gonna be a good day to be a son and daughter. Good day to have a good father. Good day to lift your hands and thank Him. Give Him all the praise. Good day to be a son and daughter. Good day to have a good father. Good day to lift your hands and thank Him. Give Him all the praise. Waking up to another good day. Good day. Give Him all the praise. Good day. Oh, I will. Give Him all my praise. Good day. Say, give Him all the praise. So we bless His name. Jesus, got me take our stand. Bless His name.
Do you ever feel hesitant when it comes to sharing your faith? This month, Crossroads wants to help you talk about your beliefs with confidence and joy. We're pleased to offer the book, Each One, Reach One, Everyday Ways You Can Shine God's Light by award-winning artist Babby Mason.
Don't worry about how it comes out. There's something about kindness that tears down walls. It makes a person's heart vulnerable, and they are looking for a lifeline.
This inspiring, interactive book is perfect for those longing to share their God story with others. Find your unique style of talking about Jesus and share your faith with excitement.
And when they're looking for a lifeline, I give them a lifeline. When they express their need, I share my faith.
Request this ministry offer with a donation of $40 or more, or when you become a new monthly partner. Call 1-800-265-3100 or visit crossroads.ca/shine.